plate. I don't need to be there for the festivities.
Right. Don't care about any of that social gathering shit. Don't want to
Right.
see
Nope.
no.
You can surely make me a plate though.
Right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Devin Hour Drag Race Review. Today we're going to be reviewing All Stars 5. I'm about to say season 12, bitch.
It's like that.
All Stars 5, episode 2. Shout out to everybody who tuned into last week's episode. I got a lot of good feedback from it. Shout out to my friend Sharia, who's been like commenting nonstop because she has a lot of opinions. So we're definitely going to try to incorporate her to come on here eventually, which I think will be really, really cool. So we walk into the workroom, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, no, they went back into the place they did Untucked, which I guess was in the workroom. I'm really not sure how
they're doing Untucked this season. I think that it is basically the workroom. I can't really tell, especially since in prior seasons they would separate Untucked. They would separate Untucked from the actual episode. Maybe because I had to rewatch it today, it was like connected. Like Untucked just blended right in. So yeah. I don't know, but I think it's really just the workroom at this point.
Yeah, it's the workroom with just a change in furniture.
Mm-hmm, that's all.
So there's that. They walked into there and they're discussing, Derek Barry left. Mayhem is talking about how she's happy she didn't go home.
Right.
And Juju B was like, well, girl, I voted for you.
And Mayhem was like, no, stop playing. And she was like,
no, I really did vote for you.
I voted for you. That took me out, honestly, because she was like, the fact that she could sit there and say, I enjoyed Derek's performance more. Mm-hmm. And Derek's performance, I literally didn't laugh one time. Like Michelle said, if we didn't know who these impressions were before she kept changing them, it would have just been a routine, like just a stand-up routine. We didn't even know who was who. So
right. But one thing I did appreciate about Derek Barry's performance was like she did something different than what we were kind of expecting.
That's true.
She didn't execute it well at all.
Right.
But it was still different. Mayhem, on the other hand, I expected so much more. Mm-hmm. Because you've been in a drag race. You've been in a drag scene since forever. Like you're literally a legend in drag. And for you to be flubbing up your words like that, it is so unprofessional to me. Mm-hmm. So just based off of that, because at least Derek is willing to try and she has something that she can go back to, which is Brittany. Mayhem, this is what you do. So for you to go on that stage, flub up your words like that, we couldn't hear you.
And it was also very anticlimactic. Like literally nothing happened. Like, were there any dance moves? I don't even really recall what happened. I just know that we were like, okay, like we saw the iconic like moment with the eyes, and then after that it went nowhere.
It went downhill.
So at the end of the day, she was like, listen, I understand, like you said, your feelings are valid, but I voted for you. Sorry. So it is what it is.
Exactly. And so hopefully that's another wake-up call for these queens. Like, yeah, we may be friends, but at the end of the day, I'm going to elbow you out the goddamn way for $100K.
Right.
And them tips every week.
Period. Especially since the tips are piling up if due to the lip sync assassin if they don't win. So yeah, I'm gonna be elbowing bitches too.
Right.
Let me get my tip.
Correct.
Period.
So now the next day we get into the workroom. They have to do the iconic wiping down the message on the mirror. Mm-hmm. Derek Barry makes it a point to put "I love you, Juju B," which I was like,
I'm not really sure what that was about, but okay. Whatever that was.
Did Derek know that Juju B was the only one who didn't vote for her? Because I'm confused.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but okay.
Yep. So India, just like fuck it and just wiped it down.
Just wiped the shit off. She was like short, wasn't very sweet, but I'm ready to get rid of the shit. So let's move on.
Let's keep it pushing. So they all gather around one of the tables and they're discussing I guess about last week's episode or last week's challenge, and Bitch Cracker was like, I think I should have got some white out and put Angina's name.
Which is, I feel like, okay, yes, I think that the masses would have thought that Angina was going to be in the bottom based on her performance. But are we already being this shady on the second episode? You're talking about, well, whatever. And like Angina say, you're not Bendela Crime, sweetie. We're
Right,
not doing that. We're not doing
right.
that.
You're not Bendela.
Exactly.
And also, it was kind of like, yes, Angina didn't do as well in last week's challenge, but she wasn't the worst. I feel like the worst
Right.
people were at the bottom. So for Miss Cracker to say that is kind of like, what the fuck? But also, I could see where Miss Cracker's coming from because Angina did low key kind of give up last week.
Exactly. Literally on the first episode.
So
So
I
I
guess,
understand, but it's like the shade already so soon. Talking about, well, I should have just put her name on it if it's like that. And it's just like there is a little bit of truth in that,
yeah,
but I think people were just shocked for her to be saying that so soon.
right. And I don't know if Miss Cracker is going to get the villain edit this season because based off of this
I already
episode,
see it. I already see it. She already done she already done had hers. Yeah, she is.
oh my gosh, I don't want Miss Cracker. Actually, I'm low-key kind of living for it because I think Miss Cracker would do a good job at being a villain for a season because I think
Yeah.
she is perfect and just witty enough to do it.
And we already see how she is. So if you could carry this through the rest of the season, at least we'll have something to be cackling about.
Right. So Miss Cracker, I don't know what the hell you just came out of nowhere with that, but
I know.
I was living for Alexis
Yeah.
Mateo in the corner, getting her damn life to the whole entire situation.
Yes.
I was like, Alexis, you're me, bitch, because I would have been up there
Period.
cackling too.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes she already done had hers is here comes
Mm-hmm.
RuPaul on this screen writing
Yep.
to her diary,
Mm-hmm.
talking about her, I guess, celebrity crushes or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. And so the challenge for this week is going to be a girl group challenge. And everybody has to write a verse for a song talking about their crush, and cute
Right.
concept, cute idea.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
the
I think
first
it's cute.
time we've seen girl group type of
Mm-hmm.
challenges on the show. But what's interesting is we get to see old queens participate in this type of challenge because this wasn't a thing that happened earlier seasons.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's
I thought
true.
it was interesting to see like a Juju be participate in some bullshit like, because this is legit
Mm-hmm.
like later
Yeah.
season
Yup.
bullshit.
Yeah. Last couple of seasons, they're like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're gonna do like, since there have been like more relevant girl groups, now since the girl groups back then
Mm-hmm.
kind of fell off now. But now since we have like a couple new ones, like, like when Fifth Harmony and everything was out. So
Yeah.
now since then they're like, okay, like we're gonna do a girl group challenge. So
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
yep.
Fifth Harmony
Mm-hmm.
did come out like later
Yeah.
as Drag Race was coming on, so there was like a little bit of a resurgence
Yep.
from of girl groups. That's true. I didn't even think about that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but just like in early seasons, they would have did like a girl group challenge. I'm pretty sure early season queens would have been like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah. They definitely would have. They definitely would have.
So that's interesting. So RuPaul asks India, "Who do you think is your biggest competitors?" India says Shea Coulee, understandable.
Understandable.
I'm scared
Very
of Shea.
right. Very understandable.
And then she says Blair St. Clair. I was like,
Right. I think we all were like, okay. Out of everyone in the room, you're gonna pick Blair. Like, yes, we said that she's a fully developed woman now. She is very, she has revamped her style and everything. Everybody ate up her entrance look. But I don't think I would say that she's my one of my top competitors. Definitely not.
hell no.
So I don't know where she pulled that from. I think that she was just pulling shit out of a hat at that point. But all right, sweetie, if you think it's Blair, then so be it.
Because I think India's real competition is like a Mayhem or a Juju.
Yeah.
Because they all give off like that old school type of drag.
Right.
And I feel like Mariah presents that a little bit better without being like so cliche. Because
Mm.
because even though India, like, she does a good job with old school drag, I do feel like sometimes low key kind of tacky and cliche.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It is. It is.
So with Mariah is like elevated, Juju B is just a fierce
Mm-hmm.
bitch, even though sometimes the outfits could get lackluster, and we're going to get into that.
Oh yes, we definitely will.
So yeah, so Rue flips it and says, well, these are this week's leaders is going to be Shay and Blair in India.
Right. Mm-hmm.
India was like, well, looks like I fucked myself over, and bitch, you did.
Yep, you did. They always do. Every time this happens, when Rue is like, who is the person that you're least confident in? And they're like, you know what, bitch? Now she's the captain. She pulls it every time. So I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised the girls didn't peep that, like when Rue
I
asked that question.
know. Yeah.
That is so funny. So India chooses. I don't even remember what was on India.
I don't even remember
It was
the
Alexis.
groups.
It was Alexis and Jujubee that was with
Mm-hmm.
India.
Yeah.
Which was smart because we know Alexis and Juju is going to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Mayhem, Cracker, and Blair, season 10 queens.
Yep.
And then it was Angina, Shay, and Mariah.
Who's the last person? Mariah, right. Not us forgetting who the last person
was. So we're looking at India. So we're looking at India, Alexis, and Juju, and they're like going over like what they're going to say. India whips out this whack ass verse about her husband, RJ.
Right. And we're like, girl, we are talking about celebrity crushes, not your little stinking ass husband. Girl, we get it, but come on. Do what the challenge is.
Required.
And they gave her a good dragging about that too.
Alexis sure did. Alexis was like, right. Yeah, you like RJ, but exactly. India Farrah.
Right.
Something else.
And then I think Mayhem was like, girl, we know that you're not with a celebrity. Somebody said that. And I was like, girl, give it up. We're talking about celebrities.
Right.
Be realistic.
So Alexis Mateo chooses Daddy Yankee.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is very fitting.
It is very fitting. But what I also found that was interesting was as they were like discussing who they liked, they would show pictures of them. They didn't show a picture of Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Now that you say that, I don't remember them seeing a picture. I don't remember that.
Yeah, so the audience didn't have like a reference to Daddy Yankee.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know if he just didn't want his face. I don't know if he didn't want his face on the show.
Know. Maybe he didn't want to be affiliated with it. I guess. Who knows?
Because they didn't whip out no picture. They had pictures of everyone else except for Daddy Yankee. Yeah, whoever that intern is, did you forget to include?
Right. Well, and then having him be the first one.
Then Juju B says John Stamos. Fine as all hell. That man is 60 and still fine.
Still fine.
And India says Justin Timberlake, I believe.
Which is I mean, he's not a bad looking guy, but I think that there's definitely better looking people that you could have picked from.
Ryan Gosling. If we're talking about white men, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. Here go Callie in the damn background. The ghetto. But anyways, yeah, I definitely think that Justin Timberlake could have been taken out of the equation, but that's neither here nor there.
So then we move on to the season 10 queens, which I thought was like a nice little reference to season 10, seeing them work together again. But Mayhem brings up a good point. Last time that you worked with Cracker, she ended up going home.
Yep. So I would be a little, intimidated too, because it's like, is this bitch gonna overshine me again?
Yes.
So, yep.
Which Cracker was trying to do, which we're going to get into.
Yep.
Who did they say that they liked? I think
Mayhem said Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Blair said Hannibal Lecter, which
was very strange. I think she just wanted that to be a Kiki or something, because come on, be serious. Be serious.
So they're discussing, and of course Cracker is taking control of the situation. Which I wish Blair and Mayhem, already knowing how Cracker is, would have said something to stop that shit right in the tracks.
Right.
Right there.
Right. Especially Mayhem, since you know how she damn near bulldozed you in the challenge from season 10. It's like you need to be upfront about it. Like, listen, I know that you're trying to give, some good advice or whatever, but we don't need it.
Right.
So yeah, they should have cut that right at the jump.
And you would have thought that Cracker was the leader, but it was Blair that was the leader.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
yeah.
So I really don't remember them discussing their lyrics or anything. So I'm just going to brush right past that.
Mhm.
Then we go to Shay, Angina, and Mariah, and they're looking at the season 10 queens, and it was like, oh, Blair's in trouble, girl, because
Yep.
Blair's with a bunch of big personalities, which I agree, but I think Blair has kind of elevated herself to be on the same level as a lot of the other queens.
I think she definitely has. I think that she has switched her style up a little bit, and she has grown up from season 10. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that she definitely is on the same level now if she wasn't back then.
Yeah. I think that Shay should have been worried about her team
Mhm.
because Angina didn't do so well in the challenge, and for her challenge last week, she did a performance.
Right.
So I would have been worried about that. But then also, Mariah Balenciaga is not known as a performing queen. She's
Mhm.
known as the ballroom queen for like face
Right.
and
Yeah.
gowns and all that.
Yep.
She's not known for lip syncing and dancing and rapping and shit. So
Right.
if I was Shay, I would have been so totally concerned
Mhm.
up front. I wouldn't even have picked those two. I would have picked somebody else.
Right. At least somebody that you know is confident in performing.
Right.
At least
Like,
at least one damn person. You can't be fucked on both sides. So yeah, I would be a little hesitant too. Like, okay, like
yeah.
we have to pull this together.
Off get, I was like, oh, Shay is gonna just slay
Mhm.
and gonna leave
Definitely.
these two in the dust.
Definitely.
So we get to the stage and
Mhm.
where they're like recording the songs or whatever. So I guess we could start off with India Ferry, Juju, and Alexis. There really wasn't that much like problems with them, I guess. I feel like they
Mhm.
all did kind of
Yeah.
fairly well. I guess India was
Mhm.
the main one that really struggled the most.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um
I
as
think for the
expected.
most part, all the girls were kind of okay. I don't think that there was anybody that was really like struggling that we could actually notice. Like it seemed fine to me.
Yeah. But in the next group though with Angina, I do think Angina was struggling so much. And it's unfortunate that her voice was like giving out during that.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because like what do you do as a producer? Do you because is it
Right,
fair? Because if your
right,
voice gives out, like
right.
that's
What
not
can you
something you
do
could
about that?
control.
Right.
Right. So like what would be the solution to that? Well, the solution was auto tune.
Yeah. Right. So they figured something out at the end of the day.
Yeah, but like I really want to see how that will play out on like a regular season.
Right.
If
Yeah.
they have to record a verse and the girl can't record their verse because they lost their voice, like you can't
Right.
send them
Yeah.
home for that shit. That ain't
I
right.
know. Yeah, but Rue would be like, well, sashay away.
That's how the cards were dealt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What corny shit would Rue
I
say to
know.
that? Not only did your performance give out, so did your voice. So
Right.
stupid.
Very that.
Oh my gosh. Miss Cracker being controlling, I think like changing people's lyrics and stuff. Ooh.
Now me dropping my phone on the damn keyboard. There's just a lot going on over here. But yes, Cracker was trying
Control the
to change, yeah,
situation.
to control the situation, like always, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So and yeah, so she calls herself giving constructive criticism and trying to help the girls out, but at the same time it is very just like arrogant. It comes off across as like it seems like you feel like you know what's best for everybody, and so yeah.
Golly.
I know, I don't know what the hell is going on. People walking up and down the damn street.
That's why she's barking.
God, yes,
Uh-huh.
getting on my damn nerves.
Shout out to Callie.
Right, I guess she wanted to be in this damn episode.
She had some thoughts.
Right.
Blair was struggling in the beginning of her part.
She was, which is very surprising to me because she is a vocal performer.
Right.
So what happened, sis? She
Like,
was definitely struggling at the beginning.
I was like, what the fuck, Blair? But she ended up
Right.
turning it out during that
Mm,
section. So okay.
yeah.
Mariah was also struggling, and I was like,
Yeah.
after you talked all that shit about Angina Girl, here you go.
Right. Right. But you know what I realized? Every time there is like a singing challenge or something like this, they always show the girls struggling, but then they always turn it out when it comes to the main stage, though.
And that's what they did last season, and that was one
Mm-hmm.
thing that really pissed me off about Gigi Good. I think
Yup.
that
Because
also
yeah.
that
Yup.
participated in like this arrogant storyline that she was kind of given,
Mm-hmm.
because we all knew that she could turn it out, but
Right.
she'll be fucking up, flubbing up the words, really not doing well in the practice with the dancing, and then
Yup.
here she goes winning the Madonna challenge, winning the final challenge,
Mm-hmm.
what other challenge, the snatch game,
Right.
all this other stuff, and I think that's kind of annoying. Like, just
It is. It is because I definitely think that they kind of try to edit it that way too.
yeah,
Because even with Snatch Game, when Rue was like, I don't think that's going to be funny.
right.
And she was like, well, we'll just have to see. And look at her, she turned it out.
And
So,
yeah, it's annoying.
I don't even think it's really a coincidence. I think they just edit it that way. Like, look, you guys, your favorite girl
Hmm.
is fucking up. But then when it comes out to what it's really going to be, she turns it out every time. So,
Yeah, I don't like that edit because it's like it's so predictable. I think
mm-hmm.
the editors and the producers of Drag Race needs to come up with some new shit,
Yeah,
because everything
they
is
definitely do.
becoming so predictable. If a girl is not doing well during the practice, we already know that they're going to turn it out during the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
If a person is so super duper worried about their snatch game, they're going to end up turning it out. Like,
Right.
it's like
And then if a girl shades somebody literally one time, now they're painted the villain for the whole entire season.
the
Now
vixen.
it's every single thing, the vixen. Now it's every single thing is like, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. See what Cracker has to say about this. See
Yeah.
that, and then they always try to like pan over to whoever was like throwing shade at the beginning of the episode. They'll look at her face while Queen is doing something. She literally won't be making a face at all, but they'll pan over anyway, like, let's see what Cracker thinks, or whoever the case may be.
Anyways, yeah, producers do better. Like, I understand that they have to like do a show and they have
Mm-hmm.
to like present a story. So
Right,
somebody's going to be painted as a villain. But
right,
I would rather it be like a natural, honest, and true bitch.
right.
Like
Like,
when
I feel like Gia Gunn, that was, even though looking back now, she's like, I was just in a really bad place during that time. So that's why she was like such a bitch or whatever. But that just like flowed naturally.
yeah,
I feel like sometimes they really are like stretching it to have a villain from one shady thing that a queen says. Now it's
yeah.
like everything is about them when that's really not the case. So,
Yeah, I agree. Cause like with like genuine bitches like Trinity Taylor,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
genuinely a bitch. Like,
yeah,
and I live for that because it was
yeah,
honest and true. But then there was something about like the way they edited the Vixen and the way that they edited Silky.
yeah.
Like Silky, I believe Silky is literally annoying and loud, but I don't really think that's her all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So it's just that weird thing. Producers of Drag Race just do just
Need to get it the hell together. That's
get it
all.
together. Okay, so moving on, we get to the dance practice. Angina, Shay, and Mariah, they're swimming through it. They're doing fine, coming up with dance moves. Great. Juju beat India and Alexis. They're doing their thing, of course. But the main issue was Blair, Cracker, and Mayhem. Because
Yep.
once again,
Once again.
here goes Cracker,
Hmm.
really like trying to take control, but I feel like they really weren't communicating with each other well, and I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't think.
Blair
Yeah.
was doing a good job as a leader in that.
Hmm. Yeah, they weren't, and I think that that's one of the main reasons that Cracker might have taken over. Not that she doesn't try to do it every other time too, but if the leader is already not, like guiding the steps and stuff and saying maybe we should do this, do that, so so on and so forth, then of course Cracker is going to naturally just take the lead because that's what she does all the time. So
Hmm. But then here goes Blair, and who else was telling Cracker about herself? Was it Mayhem?
it was Juju.
It was Juju. So
Hmm.
they get Miss Cracker together. They were like, "Yeah, girl,
They
you're
did.
difficult."
Hmm. Called her straight up egotistical. I said.
Yep.
And is.
And
And
that's that.
then Cracker went into this whole thing like, oh, I've never been a person that was like really liked back in my childhood and blah 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 blah. It is what it is, girl. I mean, if you're arrogant, you're arrogant. It's okay. And she's like, no, but that's just really not the type of person that I am. Well, that's the type of person that you're showing to these girls. So
Yeah, and it's the same thing that we saw in season 10.
right. So
Literally the same thing we saw in season 10.
right.
So I don't know what Miss Cracker was. I don't know what the point of that was, because to me it sounded like, although I did feel for her in that moment, but it sounds like to me there's a lack of self-awareness for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I definitely think that's what it is. And I think that she is trying so hard to be perfect that she doesn't realize that she's projecting that onto everybody else. Like, they have to do this and they have to do that. And I think you should do this if you want to be better. Girl, you need to just worry about your stuff.
right.
Because not everybody wants constructive criticism at the end of the day. And then
Right.
sometimes the way that it comes off, it doesn't come off like, girl, I'm just trying to help you. It comes off like, that's shit and you need to fix it.
Right.
So,
And that's what she said during Untucked. Like, she was like, "Oh, I should have just sat there and shut up." And yes, you should
you
have.
should have. And yes, you should have. You should have just sat there and ate your food. Like,
Right.
you should have just shut up. It was not
Exactly.
necessary.
Exactly. So I just need her to have a little bit more. If we're going to continue throughout this season, I just need Cracker to have a little bit more self-awareness and to bite her tongue. Obviously, we enjoy the drama, but if it's going to be unnecessary drama every episode because you
Right.
decided to speak up and say something that you didn't need to say, then
Right.
I don't really want that.
But she clearly sees that the girls got her together this episode. So
Yeah.
maybe she'll take that and, we'll be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't really speak out about this.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Exactly. One thing that really did touch me in her statement, though, was kind of like, "Oh, I haven't made friends in so many years because I'm afraid that they're going to leave."
Yeah.
Which I was like, "Oh, that's sad." Kind of don't know what this has to do with you being a shady bitch towards Angina,
Right.
but okay,
That
I
was
get it.
kind of just a random thing off to the side. Like that. I mean, maybe she's saying that she's hasn't made friends because she's shady. I don't know. I mean, is that the correlation? Is that what we're really saying? Because
Right.
if you're just saying that you're scared that they're not, they're going to walk away, clearly it's because you were being shady.
Right.
So if that's the case, then stop being so fucking shady. Like,
You're 35, Miss Cracker. You're 35.
right. Right. Come on, man.
So we get to the challenge. RuPaul walks down the runway in this getup, which I completely fucking hate. I hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was too much fabric.
Yes.
And the colors did not really go at all. The pink and the like teal would have went together, but then underneath it was like red. It was not for me. I didn't like it at all. It was just doing too much.
The face was beat, the wig was nice, but that gown
That
was
outfit
not
was
it.
it's not
But
it.
I don't know if you feel this way either. But I really do feel like all of these seasons in that the judges should be coordinating with the runway theme.
I think so too. And sometimes they do, like Michelle will sometimes and Rue will sometimes, but not always. And I just feel like it should coordinate with the theme because what is the theme for? I get that it's for the girls, but I think that you should be partaking in the theme too. You picked it. So why not wear something that you picked? Because that had nothing to do with nothing. And I don't even remember what Michelle had on. So
because last season during the purple challenge, we saw RuPaul wear purple. And I was like, oh, I don't ever remember RuPaul really going with the theme of the runway before.
I think if it's a very, very like specific theme, like maybe if it's like space or something like that, then sometimes she will, but it is very rare. It is not something that happens all the time. If it's something like really extravagant, then I think she will. But
on season 10, I think when Monet and what's the other one? Dusty Ray did that lip sync to Pound Your Alarm. RuPaul was wearing like that space kind of
that mask thing.
mask.
That was another mask moment that I was like, what the hell is that? I don't know what that was with these damn masks. But yes.
Cole, that's the next thing for season 13. Coincide the outfits of the judges to the girls.
Please. That would be so much more cohesive and it will just tie everything together so much better. Not saying that Ru doesn't look amazing most of the time, but it would be a step further if it was with the theme that was going on at the same time, not just a beautiful gown. At least let it go. At least let it be the same damn color. It don't even
Yeah,
have to be all extravagant.
especially with this week's theme being like the skin
Right,
you're in.
right,
I was like,
yeah.
RuPaul, you as the Black Queen should have just
And
represented.
I'm sure she has plenty of nude illusion dresses. Plenty. Girl, you could have pulled one of them out of the damn, come on.
Right.
And not that shit that you had on. Throw that shit in the trash.
Right. If the girls are going to get sent a list of requirements, the judges need to be sent the same shit too.
Yep. Period.
And that's just that. All them hoes on that panel. Tessa Thompson, shout out to her. And what's the other girl? Madison Beer?
I never heard of her. I looked like, who? And I really only know Tessa from, at least on the top, the one that's at the very top of my mind is she was in the newest Men in Black movie.
Oh.
So I knew her from, I think I know her for something else too, but that's the first thing that came to my, okay.
Yeah, I know Tessa Thompson through her fucking on Janelle Monáe. That's
Oh, a scandal.
yeah.
I wish these people would stop fucking walking by. Don't you hear this dog acting a fool? Walking up and down the damn cul-de-sac. Can't y'all walk somewhere else? Anyways, but yeah, I don't know who Madison was.
Disney?
I really don't know who that was at all.
I'm gonna have to look up her IMDb.
They be pulling some of these people out the woodwork because I'm like, who?
The nooks and crannies of Hollywood.
And then especially these new people that are like very new, like just influencers. I'm like, who in the hell is that? People that I never heard of. Never heard of her.
Yeah, I just be so deeply confused. I feel like they could be. I feel like the judges should be more queer individuals, like queer celebrities.
Yes, also like that.
I understand that guest judges bring something extra to like the show, but if it's not like a queer icon or a queer celebrity themselves, they kind of just really don't do much for me sometimes. Jeff Goldblum I liked a lot.
Yeah, that was really good. And I mean, I guess they figure, okay, the queer people are Ross and Carson. They said that's as much. They said that's what y'all are gonna get, and these guest judges are gonna be. And then it's kind of random how they pick the guest judges. Like they don't really have anything to do with anything either.
That's what I'm saying. Like it should be coordinating with the damn. I don't. If
like the only one that right now that I could think of is Jeff Goldblum with the political stuff, I guess. I don't even think he is political. Is he? I don't know. But Whoopi with the color purple theme, that went.
Right.
But everything else is just like, okay, we're going to plop this celebrity guest here and then this random ass theme here. And we're just going to let them vote on it. And that's it.
If I was a production assistant or an executive producer on the show, the shit would drive me mad because I feel as though like the challenges, the runways, the judges, the song, the like everything should match.
Yeah. And it's really not that hard. It's really not that hard, I don't think. Like I'm sure that even with the celebrity judges that they get, you can put the same type of at least runway theme with it. It doesn't have to be the main challenge. But like when they had Casey Musgraves on there, y'all could have easily had like a Western theme.
Right.
That would have went. She's a country singer. Like where is it's not adding up. Like and it's so easy.
And then we don't see like Normani was on last season, right? Normani, they could have easily done like a singing challenge with her,
right?
Or a dancing challenge, or if anything, what they should have done, like include these celebrity guest judges in the challenge, like have them there.
Right. Yeah, that would be
Because
the only thing that they really do is they'll do like if it's a singer, a singer celebrity judge, they'll like most likely have them lip sync to one of their songs. That's about as far as it goes, and that's really not even all the time either.
No, it's not. So I'm just so confused. Like I don't like that shit. It's the cohesiveness.
Yeah.
As a comm major, that's just my pet peeve. Okay, we spent too much time on that fucking.
We did.
So we get to the challenge. The first group, I think was it Juju B, India, and Alexis?
Yes.
Alexis killed it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alexis killed it with her talking about gas. Let me just say also, that Michelle Visage has such an issue with Rock'em Sakura last season with the fucking farting joke. But
Yeah.
ever since then, we have seen Dump It, the poop joke with
Yup.
Crystal, the gassy joke with this, and there has been other like fart related jokes within the last 12 seasons. But yet with Rock'em Sakura, she had such a damn problem with it.
But remind me if I'm wrong. Was it because Rockham did it so many times, or was it the very first time that she did it? Michelle Visage was like, "No."
The first time.
Yeah, come on, Michelle. Michelle just ain't like Rockham, and that's just that. Because if we're gonna let it slide every other damn season, what's the issue?
Right. And as quiet as it's kept, Rockham should have stayed another fucking week, if you ask me. But that's.
Yep. But we're not going to talk about that.
So Alexis did well. Juju B did well. I did not like this performance outfit.
Oh, I'm trying to.
It was the red number.
Is that she had the boots on, right?
Yes.
I actually did kind of like that. I don't know if it was very cohesive with the rest of her group, but I thought it was cute.
I did not like it, and I also didn't like the fact that I saw like the black part of the bra.
Oh, okay.
I hate that.
I don't know if I paid attention to that.
That to me was such an eyesore. I was like, girl, you couldn't have just like picked that shit up.
Right. Yeah, get yourself together.
Right.
You're not a new queen.
Right. I did not like Juju's outfit, but I thought she slayed. India fell short for me. She didn't do bad, but when you're standing next to a Juju being Alexis Mateo, you
got to bring your all. You have
to elevate it. And her line about Laganja, like that, I feel very attacked right now.
Right. And Michelle said something about that. She's like, why are you trying to put all of these things together? Because you said something about Derek Barry, about the Britney, but then about Laganja, like what are you trying to do? Are you just trying to bring all the like the relevant stuff up? Like I don't really know what the point of that was.
Yeah, I know like queens tend to do that. Like they tend to reference Drag Race scenes or whatever because they think that's going to get like brownie points from the judges because look, I made a reference but I feel very attacked has literally nothing to do with it.
Nothing. Like you could have got your points for the Britney reference and then ended it right there. Like dragging all the other stuff into it just made it stupid.
Exactly. And also if you were going to deliver that line, you should have delivered it like how Laganja delivered it.
Right.
She kind of just said it under her breath. You should have fucking screamed.
It was, she kind of squeezed it in at the last second. Like, at that point, you should have just left it out, girl. We didn't need it.
Exactly. So that group was fine. Then comes Blair, Miss Cracker, and Mayhem. Mayhem, I thought did great.
She did.
I thought they did great. I thought Blair was really actually pretty funny. It was like out of her comfort zone. Taking on like this crazy character, which I did appreciate.
Yeah, and I loved her outfit too.
Yes, her outfit was fire. And Miss Cracker looked good. I think Miss Cracker did well too. I think out of all the groups, this group was the best and most cohesive.
I think so.
And they looked like a group.
Yeah.
Which was really, really important. Finally, we get to Shay, Angina, and Mariah. Shay did amazing.
Yeah, I mean, as to be expected, and we're going to keep saying that every week until she proves us otherwise. But she did awesome. Her look was amazing as well. Angina kind of blended into the background.
And I felt like, I feel so bad. I don't know if it's because like Angina's like literally the shortest and the smallest out of everybody. So I feel like, yes, they lifted her up, but I wish you would have did more things bigger so she could stand out because you're literally this big when you're standing next to fucking 7-foot Shay and 10-foot Mariah Balenciaga. So I wish you would have did something like more bigger actions, probably wore a bigger heel, like something.
Something to make herself stand out in comparison to them.
And honestly, I think Mariah did the worst.
Yeah, she did.
I don't think she really knew her words.
Yeah, she didn't really know her words. And for me, it was very like slow moving for some reason. It was like it was boring.
Yeah, it was actually very boring. And her delivery of like the splits and like the punchlines. It really wasn't given that.
It
So I
wasn't.
was like, Mariah, this is weird. So my bottom, honestly, it would
Let
have
me see who's
been
in my bottom.
India and Mariah.
Um, definitely Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad to say Angina too. I feel like she couldn't really help that she blended into the background. But if you know that first of all, you see your team members and you know what they serve. So I feel like you really should have put your best foot forward. And maybe she did, and that was all that she had to give. But sweetie, you got to get a little bit more if you want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
yeah.
Then here we go, the runway. Love the skin that I'm in. I don't necessarily remember the lineup. Macy, can you please
Okay, yes,
go
okay.
down the
So
line?
first was India.
Oh, she did
And
like the different skin
she
tone.
the different skin tones, and it had like that red heart on it. I thought it was cute. It had a cute little message talking about embracing all the she called it racial unity. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and I thought it really fit the sign of the times, like the stuff that we're going through currently. Although this was filmed last year, so I think
But it's so crazy how everything can tie in a year later.
yeah, even like Mariah's performance last week, how it was relevant in 2019, but it's 10 times more relevant in 2020.
Yeah, it really hit it. Yeah, it really was crazy when we saw that last week.
Yeah. I liked India's outfit a lot. I didn't like that jewel shit she had on her shoulder. And like the extra fabric she had.
Yeah, I
on the
didn't like the
bottom.
extra fabric that was like hanging off on like the side or something. It just wasn't needed. It
Yeah.
took away from the garment, I think.
Yeah, but I felt as though she was dressing like how she would dress in Vegas, to be
Right.
honest.
So, right in her comfort zone. Up next was Juju, and she had on like that pink mermaid style gown.
Yeah, I felt like that outfit would have killed in season 2, season 3.
Right. And then also, what does that have to do with the skin that you're in? I mean, was it because it's fitted? Like, I don't understand the reference.
And it wasn't necessarily like a nude illusion. It was like a pink.
It was pink. It was straight up pink. It was not nude illusion at all. So and then we're going to get into that a little later too with someone else. But it did not really do it for me. Also, I didn't like that it was like short at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it
You
didn't
saw
go
the
all the way
heel.
to the ground. I didn't like that because I feel like if you're going to pull that off, first of all, I can't stand high-low. I hate high-low dresses, period. So if it's going to be short, I would prefer it to be short all the way around, not short in the front, long in the back. I can't stand that on regular dresses, period. So that was definitely a no for me. And yeah, it did not go with the theme at all. And I didn't really care for her hair either, to be honest.
And that's the thing about Juju. Like, we all know that she could perform the house down boot. She's funny as shit. But even going back from season 2, All Stars 1, Drag You, even now, like her runways to me always felt so lackluster. Like they just never really like. There's been moments where she like turned out a look. Like one of my favorite looks by her is that the wedding dress look she did in season 2, which I thought was fire. But yeah, it's just like Jujubee, like you need to. This would have
Very
killed
lackluster,
early
like you
on.
said. Very mall drag. Because she's showing it again. That is a very typical prom dress in my eyes. And it's very yeah, it was not for me.
You know what? At least she's consistent.
Right. It was not for me at all. Up next was Alexis Mateo, and she had like it was like leather, but it was like skin tone. I thought that was cute.
Was it a pussy?
It was. Wait, what? What was it?
What was it? Because you remember, like she had like this cutout, and it was like, what was it supposed to be?
Oh, I know what you're saying. I don't know what that was. Because I don't know what that was. It was no. Now that I'm looking at it again,
To me, it was giving vagina. That's what I was getting.
It was, and I also hate that hairstyle that thing that Eureka O'Hara always used to wear. I hate that. I hate it. hate
What
it.
is it? Like a loaf of bread or some shit? Like a loaf?
Yes, I think they call it loaf. I hate that. I thought Alexis looked good, but now that you're pointing that out to me, yes, it is very pussy vibe. And yeah, I mean, she did the theme. It's skin tone, but it's not my favorite look.
It's not. It was very safe.
Yeah, it was. It was very safe. It was cute. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst.
Yep.
She did the assignment. Up next was Blair St. Clair, and so okay, I'm gonna start off by saying that I liked the look. It
Yeah.
did not go with the theme,
No.
but I liked the look.
I guess she was trying to like think out the box.
She was trying to say that she's like cutesy or whatever, like I'm pink, like blah blah. But no, sweetie, that was not the assignment. It was cute, and I would have loved the look in any other instance if it wasn't this one.
Yeah, if the runway was like pink, then she would have ate
Right.
it
Then
up.
yeah, but it just didn't go with the theme. I
It
loved
didn't.
the look. I loved the bright yellow hair with contrasting with the pink, but it just simply didn't go with the theme.
It didn't. And I was like, Blair, what the hell? What the
Like
hell
I
are you
like
doing?
you said, I get that she was trying to go outside of the box, but it just didn't work in this instance. So
No.
yeah, and at first I almost said that was my favorite look, but then I was like, if we're really reevaluating it, it's not the
Didn't
skin
fit the
that you're in.
theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. Next was Miss Cracker, and she had like that tool, and it like came up to here, whatever it
Yeah,
was.
what the
I don't
hell?
know what the hell that was. And then also the stories that the girls would be telling along with their outfit, talking about this is very Miss Cracker was like, this is very Jewish. Girl, what is? What was Jewish about it? First of all, I don't know what that fucking curtain panel was that came all the way up to here, but that was no. And then she had just a really big like tool train in the background.
Mm.
And I just didn't really understand. This thing up here is what got me. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I hated it. The
She
hair
was
was okay,
she
but
was literally like blocking her face.
right. I don't understand what that was supposed to be at all.
Like they called out Angina for looking like a egg in a basket, but I felt
Right.
like along with Angina, Miss Cracker was also like very much swallowed in
Yeah,
that. Like
she
it was a
was.
lot. So I understood like the skin you're in, you're Jewish, so you are going to do something in reference to wherever your culture is, which is great, which is cute or whatever. But I felt like the execution of it was very like I just guess I just didn't really care for the look too much.
Yeah, and also Miss Cracker is another queen that's very tiny. Of course, not as small as Angina, but she also, and they have said this to her before in season 10, that sometimes things can swallow her up like that. Since she is very tiny, it
Mm-hmm.
may have looked better on someone that's not as small because she wouldn't have been so swallowed from the damn nose down.
Yeah, if Blair would have
So,
wore it, it would have
right,
been weird.
it probably would have been sickening. But Miss Cracker, it just didn't work. I'm not gonna say that I absolutely hated it, but I just don't think that the execution pulled through.
I agree.
Who was next? Let's see. After that was Mayhem. Hated it.
It's
Hated
a
it.
boot. It's a boot.
It's a boo. I like that the brown was her skin tone. I liked
Yeah.
that. I
Yes.
did not like the gems, the dripping gems. I did not like that. It was trying to be the Kim Kardashian Matt Gala look, I think.
Can I
And
just say, let's leave that look alone,
leave it.
okay? Because I
Leave
feel
it.
like so many queens are trying to replicate that fucking. It was a first off, that look itself was ugly to me. Like it was literally, it looked like an asshole. So I'll just leave it. Like which look was she referencing? Because it looks like two different Met Gala looks to me.
I think it was the one where Kim had on like that skin tight thing and it looked like she was wet. Her hair was like wet and it was like
Oh,
dripping. The only
oh,
reason I'm saying that is because she had like the dripping stuff on hers too. It wasn't like skin tight like Kim's, but it was the
yeah.
same like crystallized water look.
But then it also
So
looked like that the asshole Kim Kardashian Met Gala dress as well. Like it looked like it was like a combination of both.
yeah,
So either way, leave Kim Kardashian out of here.
right.
Three people that need to be left alone on Drag Race is Kim Kardashian, Mariah Carey, and Beyonce.
Yeah, please, because it is literally never pulled off. Never. Never.
Leave it
So
alone.
it's a boo. The only thing that I liked is that the brown was the same as her skin complexion. That's the only thing. I hated the hair and I hated the mug too.
Yep.
So the worst of the night. Next was Shay.
Wow.
That was a shoot. Fuck a two. That was phenomenal. That was amazing.
Spectacular. Amazing. Shay, and the thing about it is so simple. Like, we have seen something like this on Drag Race before, right? Like with
Yep.
season 7 when they did
Yeah.
like that, the nude
Yep.
runway.
Yeah.
We've seen something like this before, but
Mm-hmm.
it was elevated
Yeah.
because it
The
was black as fuck.
execution was just, oh my God.
It was black as hell.
Hmm.
And also it was rhinestoned and just, oh, it was beautiful.
It was perfect. I don't even remember what shoes she had on, and I don't even give a fuck what they were.
She could have walked down there
'Cause-
barefoot for all I fucking
right,
care.
for all I care. It was phenomenal. The hair, perfect with it, perfect. Very Nubian queen. The
Yes.
the jewelry, she had like the big cuffs, and she had like tribal type of paint. It was phenomenal. The best of the night, in my opinion.
The best.
The best.
The best. What I
That was,
also find interesting was the fact that VH1 didn't blur out the titties.
I know. They said we're gonna let it shine this time. That was, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was phenomenal. Next was Angina with her feather look, which I actually liked. And I liked the umbrella with it too. I thought it was cute. And she was saying that she was paying homage to where she was from, and I liked it. It swallowed
Mm-hmm.
her up, but I liked it.
Yeah, this is. I thought she did a safe challenge, and I thought that this runaway was actually executed pretty well. Although, like they
Hmm.
said, it looked like it swallowed her up,
Yeah.
but I thought it looked good.
Yeah, but the look itself was really good.
Yeah,
So yeah, like you said, the runway definitely was better than the challenge, and that almost could have probably, you know, kept her as safe instead of in the bottom. But
see,
she
this is why I feel like another. This is another thing. Like, I feel like they need to have with consistency, right?
mhm.
Like last week there was 2 queens in the bottom. This week there's 3 queens in the bottom.
Right,
So
which
can
is,
you pick
yeah.
the amount of queens you want in the bottom? Because I'm pretty sure if it was just 2 queens this week, it would have been India and it would have been the other Mariah.
Who else is in the bottom? Yeah, yeah, India
Because I
Mariah.
don't think Angina. Because
I don't think that, yeah, I don't think
yeah,
that she struggled as much as she did last week. She did still struggle this week, but that runway, I think, would have kept her in a safe spot. Well, you know, as RuPaul always says, All Stars rules are eliminated. So all of a sudden now there's 3 queens in the bottom this week, which is like, you know, at this
yeah,
point we don't know what to expect. And last but not least was Mariah, and
gorgeous.
she had that like it was like a tool. Okay, so at first I didn't like it, but I think I finally came around to it because I'm like, it actually does fit right. At first I didn't really like the fit,
Mm-hmm.
but I think after looking at it a couple more times, I was like, oh, it actually is cute. Cause she had like this tool thing that like came around here, and
Mm-hmm.
it was like mermaid, but I like it. At first I was like on the fence, but I like it. I think it was cute and it was nude, so it went with the theme. So
Yeah,
it
so it
was
was
okay.
cute. The tops. Well, the safes are Miss Cracker, Mayhem.
Alexis and Mayhem. Yep.
So they're safe. Then the bottom, no, the top queens are Shay. Who else?
Who
Well,
did you say
Shay,
top?
just Shay. That's it.
Yeah, just Shay is the top, and then just Shay. And then the bottom was India, Angina, and Mariah.
Yes. They all
Which,
did their
okay,
critique.
yes, I agree, but like, what the hell? Now all of a sudden there's 3 people. I just don't really understand that. But
Just have some consistency. That's all I'm
right,
saying.
because
Like,
next week it'll be back to 2. The week
yeah,
after that it might be 4. We never even know at this point.
right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So they all give their critiques. Um, really don't really. I really honestly didn't care for the critiques this episode. I was kind
Yeah,
of like,
nothing really stood out to me.
I don't feel like they gave Mariah a lot. I feel like she should have gotten a lot more than what she was given. As in, like, she should have gotten a lot more critiques because I thought her performance was legit the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was honestly like the absolute worst. Like I hated it. I hated it.
Yeah, it was not. It didn't give what it needed to give. It was bad.
Yeah. So Shay's the winner of this week's challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Period. Well deserved. Well
Mm-hmm.
deserved for the performance and the runway. Definitely the best runway of the night.
For
And the
sure.
performance was probably one of the best too, if not the best, I think. So
Yep. So
well deserved.
Shay wins. The bottom three queens, they go backstage and they, discussing like, okay, who should go home, blah, blah, blah. Angina I believe, self-sabotaged herself.
She did. She self-sabotaged herself since week 1, if we're going to be honest. At that point, she was already like, yeah, I just didn't put my best foot forward. And you said that the first week. So at this point, by this time, she gave up. And she outright said it.
If she didn't give up on herself, I feel like she would have probably stayed.
Yeah.
But since she did that, she gave that monologue, which I guess the queens were crying. But if I was there, I would have been like, "Girl, you just literally just shot yourself in the fucking foot."
And someone said that. I think it was Mariah, was it, or was it India?
It was India.
It was India, and she was like, she had to walk away because she's just like, I can't sit here and listen to this, as she literally is just throwing the competition away.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I understand where Angina is coming from because I understand why she is feeling defeated since she was all the way back from, season 1, 2. And, she just feels like that she's not up to par with these queens. And based on from last week and this week, she has been falling into the background. She has been in the shadows.
Yeah,
so I understand.
I agree, but also at the same time, like on All Stars 3, we had BB.
Right.
And BB was in a top 3.
Right.
Yes, BB won season 1, even though BB shouldn't have won season 1. It should have been Nina Flowers, but we're good. That's another.
That's another thing.
That's another. But we love BB, and BB's from season 1, and she made it all the way to the top 3 of All Stars 3.
Right.
So I feel like Angina really kind of
psyched herself out. She was in her head from the beginning.
Yeah,
she was in her head from the very beginning, thinking that she wasn't going to be up to par with the queens before she even started. And that's where her downfall was. BB, on the other hand, was probably like, yeah, I won season 1, and I can damn sure win All Stars 3. Right. And that's what carried her to the top 3. Angina went in intimidated by these queens from later seasons, and she dug her grave at that point.
And I also feel like Angina was such a fan favorite. So a lot of people were expecting her to come back on because a lot of people thought she was winning season 1. If you look back at season 1, people thought Angina was winning. So I think she went in with a lot of pressure and she was in her head. But also, Angina, outside of the show, you have literally been slaying the drag scene. So if she would have came in with that same energy she had in season 1, she could have really went all the way.
Yep.
So that was really sad. She really shot herself in the foot with that fucking speech. I was pissed off when she did that, and at that point, I was like, "Well, girl, you might as well just get sent home."
Yeah. At that point, crying and carrying on, talking about, I didn't do what I had to do. Well, girl, if you admitted it, then I can't feel bad sending your ass home.
Period.
So,
so we get back on the stage. Shay is performing against this week's lip sync assassin, which was Alyssa Edwards.
Yes.
I gagged. I was like,
I gagged. I said, the dancing queen. I said, oh.
Who is a part of like literally some of the most iconic and legendary RuPaul's Drag Race lip syncs. The one with Roxy Andrews, where Roxy unveils a second wig. We have the one with Coco Montrese.
Yep. Oh yeah. Crazy.
Nuts. And then we also have the one with Tatiana, Shut Up and Drive.
Yes. So, and you know what? Last week we were sitting there like, who the hell is a lip sync assassin that we could think of? And that one snuck up right under our nose. And we didn't even talk about that one. We didn't.
And
there
say
she
Alyssa.
Was.
But that's also because even though she killed it in every single one of her lip syncs, I do feel like Alyssa either was tied or she went home.
Yeah. I
So
think it was also a gag since she had her little Netflix thing, the Dancing Queen thing. They're like, well, we might as well. And I think
yeah.
that might be another reason that they brought her back. Now I'm gonna have to watch Dancing Queen all over again after this.
Oh, that was a good ass show. I'm
It
surprised.
was.
Did they get a season 2 or are they
I
filming
don't
season
think.
2?
I think they're filming season 2, hopefully, because that was. I love
It
that.
was fire.
It was.
So yeah, Alyssa comes out. They dance to the Neutron Dance by the Pointer Sisters. Rest in peace to one of the Pointer Sisters. I know recently one of them died. It's weird how Drag Race really just lines up with the
I
time,
know, right?
even though it
Yeah.
was filmed over a year ago. It's
Yeah, it's
crazy, but
crazy.
yeah, they did the Neutron Dance, which was a good lip sync. Shay ate it up, and
Killed it.
because on season 9, Shay was not known as nobody's lip sync
She
assassin or lip
wasn't.
syncer
And
at
I
all.
thought when I saw Alyssa Edwards, I said, oh, that's it. But no, but you know what? In my opinion, I think that Alyssa Edwards didn't give it her all.
I
That's
don't
just
either.
me. I don't think so. I think she just came for a little kiki, like, hey, y'all, I'm going to be on here, but I'm going to really let the top queen win. I think because I think Alyssa could have, she ain't hit no splits or nothing.
She
So
did
that's
it.
why I'm like, she didn't give her all to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Shay did what she had to do, though.
Shay
So,
turned it out. And I guess like we've seen Shay excel in like dancing and performing challenges, but we haven't seen her excel in the lip sync. So I guess
yeah.
this is her redemption for sure. So Shay killed it. Shay ate it up. I lived for it. I loved it. Alyssa, I don't think was giving her all at all.
I don't think she was. I think that in her mind, she was like, I'm here, they bought me back, and I'm just going to really let the top queen win. I think that's how she went into it, no matter who the top queen was going to be. Because, girl, don't tell me that was your all.
Right.
Because it was very lackluster to me.
I
So.
agree. So Shay wins. Shay gets $20,000, and she gets to vote out. She gets to reveal who's getting sent home, and unsurprisingly, it was Angina.
Yeah, we all knew.
We all knew, and I feel like All Stars does this thing all the time, where like the first 3 or 4 eliminations are like, okay, yeah, this person deserved to go, and then suddenly either a couple queens come back into the competition, or
or they send somebody home that really did not need to leave that week.
Yeah,
It's going to be either one, because they always pull it. It's either one. Either they'll be saying, oh, we have some queens coming back to compete for a spot, or they'll be like, you know what, we got bored, so we're just going to send such and such home. She really didn't deserve to leave, but we're going to send her home anyway. So one or the other. Yup. Oh, period. Yes.
Manila literally did the best in All Stars 4.
The best.
That part is she was like one episode shy away from the season finale, which pissed me off so much.
Wait, is that the episode when it was when her husband was there?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my, that was so good. And they sent her ass home. For what? Like, that was so good. And they sent her ass home. But
I guess because Naomi wanted to gag. But I was like, girl, if you were playing a real good game, if you are really this bitch that you say you are, Naomi,
right.
If I were you, I would have just been like, you know what? I'm gonna let Manila stay, because if I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat the best one.
Right. Beat the best bitch there is. Don't send her home like, well, I'm just gonna, take the place now. Girl, you knew that she should not have gone home.
Especially since we knew that Naomi, regardless of if you sent Manila home or not, Naomi was not winning All Stars 4.
Right. We knew. She might have had that in the back of her mind, but girl, you weren't. So you should have played the game fair and square.
Right. So there's that. Agina goes home. Untucked this week was all right.
It was okay. Nothing really too crazy.
I really didn't really pay attention to much of it because I could honestly care less. I just really wanted to see who voted for who. So damn near everybody voted for Angina. Even Angina voted for herself,
which was to be expected. And you know what? That didn't even surprise me that Angina voted for herself, because, like we said, she gave up the first episode. So at this point, she was so defeated to the point where she was literally crying like, these other 2 girls don't deserve to go home, which was the truth.
Yeah.
So,
but I think in Untucked, one thing that they did reveal was, because I don't think Shay was going to send her home, but when Shay was back there with Miss Cracker, I think her mind kind of switched when Miss Cracker was talking. It was kind of like, well, this girl already done gave up on herself, so so I guess it's time for her to go, and it was time for her to go. One thing I do like now that they're doing with Untucked is that when a girl leaves, they get like a little moment. So last week we had Derek with
that was nice.
her couple, and this week we have
Alyssa Edwards.
Angina and Alyssa Edwards talking, which I thought was sweet. So I hope they continue to do that. Like, let these girls have their little sentimental
their moment.
And then
because at first, the first episode, I was confused. Like, why is Derek getting a video? Like, doesn't this happen at the end when it's like the last couple of queens that are left? But now I see that they're giving the eliminated queens like a little extra moment instead of just being like, okay, walk in the workroom, get your stuff, write your mirror thing, and go. I'm glad. That is something nice that they're doing, adding this little extra piece to it.
Yeah. So that was cool. And yeah, Anjana goes home. 8 queens remain.
Yep.
And that's that. There we go.
Season 2.
Yeah, I don't know what next week is it really entailing. I really didn't pay attention to the trailer.
I think I did. They were saying that it was going to be like a commercial about, was it a commercial? I don't remember what it was now, actually. I know that Ru was saying something about some sweet treat that could be sold in a hotel. But I can't tell if they're making a commercial for it. Probably, I guess so. Some sweet treat, something, some mess. I don't know.
So you think it's like an improv challenge?
I think that you know how sometimes when they have to come up with like their own brand of something. I think it's like that.
Oh shit. Okay, so based off of that, I think Mayhem's going home next.
Yep.
No. That does not sound like it's up her wheelhouse at all.
It doesn't. And you know who I think will probably be at the top for one of those type of things? Cracker.
I think Cracker, and I also think Alexis Mateo.
Yeah. So
Alexis has been killing it this season.
She has. She definitely has.
She's eating it up. If she don't make it to top 3, bitch, I'm going.
I know.
You know
they'll send her. They'll send her home when there's 4 queens left. She'll be the last. She'll be the 4th queen to go.
She's going to have the Manila edit. She's going to have the Valentina edit. Like they're going to send her home.
Yep. I already know how Ru does. I already know.
Because I honestly think that they're making this Shay season a win.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Right now, definitely, I would say so. I think.
Because if Shay doesn't win, I could see the fans like being absolutely pissed.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, I'm not mad about it. It'll be another Black queen.
That means we'll have 3 Black queens this year.
Yep, right after Jada Essence Hall.
And
to another Black queen.
And yeah, it'll be Evie Oddly, Jada, and Shay. And if you want to count Miss Congeniality, it'll be Heidi in Closet too. So it'll be 4.
Right. Yep. Hand it over.
There you go.
Might as well.
That's it for today. Thank you everybody for listening to our review of All Stars 5 episode 2. Tune in next week on Monday for another episode. Tune in next week for the next goddamn episode. That's it.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. How do I stop this?